Today I'm turning this into this. And somewhere in the middle, I finally let go of the woman I used to pretend to be. So here is my story. So today is November 28, 2025. Once again, for those of you who are in the States or anywhere in the world and celebrating Thanksgiving, so this is the day after Thanksgiving. It seems like it is a tradition of mine has becoming to start something new the day after Thanksgiving because, you know, it's Black Friday and a lot of people, at least in this country, are going crazy shopping online or in the stores. I have never been a fan of that tradition. I come from a culture where we don't really shop, or I grew up not like shopping like crazy and buying in bulk of anything or waiting for all these big sales and discounts. And plus, you know, someone like me who is trying to promote the kind of mindful way of consuming fashion, whether it's through sustainable fashion or maybe secondhand and vintage or making your own. I don't support the idea. So I've got a free Friday, essentially. I don't have my other work to do today, so sewing is it for me. Let me give you an idea of what it is. Right here behind me is something quite interesting. Very Christmassy looking, right? And this is an original, authentic from late 60s or early 70s. I don't know exactly because this was purchased on Etsy a couple years ago as a kilt. And it is an authentic, made in Scotland, 100% wool skirt, pleated skirt and kilt in this beautiful plaid fabric. I would call it a tartan, but it is a fashion tartan, right? It's not one that is associated with any specific district in Scotland or any clan and family name. So it is rooted in the tradition of Scottish tartans, but it is a fashion piece, and it was made by a company, if I pronounce it correctly, Laird Porch. And that company existed since I believe the 60s, right? But it was officially incorporated as a company with that brand in the 90s. However, before, traditionally, a lot of those fashion companies, they existed sort of like non-officially without being registered as a business with that specific names for many decades. And so the legend has it that this existed in the 60s. So at least this is how it was sold for me. And I was originally going to wear it as a full skirt. Here, I'll demonstrate it for you because I think it will be fun for you to see what it looks like on me. And it came with a little vest. And I was going to wear them traditionally or originally as a set and maybe style it up nicely, maybe have something showing through the wrap, maybe some underskirt and things like that. This is quite nice on its own. But for 2 years it sat in my closet and I never wore it. And then I just realized that the new me, the one who is trying to break my own boundaries and kind of like break my own chains of insecurity and feeling unsure of my own body and my own personality and trying to come out and be myself, be creative, be open, share this creativity with you and be a bit more brave in how I present myself and what I wear. So I decided that my challenge is going to be to make a Christmas dress out of this, but make it a, oh my God, wait for it, a strapless mini dress. And so I made a mock-up of this already. I tried it on. I did the zipper, as you can see, and I am a little intimidated by it. So this is a twofold challenge. Not only am I going to do my best not to ruin this vintage wool tartan, but also make this mini dress out of it. But the other potentially a bigger challenge for me would be to wear it, something that revealing in my 50s, and I always wanted to. And when I was much younger, being so conservative all my life and kind of hiding and obscuring myself and trying to make myself less visible and small, I'm trying to break out of it. And I believe that no matter how old you are, no matter when you are, no matter how you do this, I think it's important to try your best to do that. And I'm showing this to you and telling this story with the hope that that might inspire someone else to break away from those chains that are very frequently really nothing else than your own perceived fears and barriers that don't really exist. And so you can just open that door of that cage and step out of it bravely. So this is what I'm going to try to do with this project. When it arrived, I immediately saw that both the vest and the waistline of the skirt were altered. I'm going to leave the vest alone and wear it separately as a piece, but there's plenty of fabric here to work with. There will be boning that I will be inserting, obviously, because I've never worn a strapless dress before, and I do know that it needs support to hold it up on the body, so I will be inserting boning into the sides, also into the princess seams in the front and the princess seams in the back. What I intend to do, and I think that's the correct way, or that really just makes me feel more secure if I do it that way, is creating the under bodice, like repeating this whole top piece in a different fabric, something stiffer, and probably inserting the boning into that piece. And I could add extra boning, right, because it won't be visible, and I could stitch through it and it will be all inside the garment and then under the lining. So that way I can ensure that it stands upright, and that fashion fabric piece, the outer layer, will be attached to the inner piece and stay put in place. And I may or may not, depending on how thick the fabric is and how well it conforms to my shape, maybe insert some little cups, as I have here for shape, obviously. So that's the idea. And I obviously will have the invisible zipper. There is not going to be any slits because I want it to be sleek and simple, but I did add a little bit of pleating here on the front, as you can see, simply because it is a narrow skirt. It hugs your body quite nicely, but you want to be able to walk. So I needed a little bit of room to step, to be able to step. So these pleats create a little bit of like, kind of like a tulip shape effect. We will see. I have some beautiful black beading I might add as an accent, and I think again, because the same print will be on the entire bodice, it might be nice to accentuate the waist or do something creating around here, but like minimal. I really don't want to add anything too much. So that's the challenge. Wish me luck, and I will document the entire process. So let's get to it, shall we?
Nothing ever felt as good or as easy as when we were young. Oh, though I felt misunderstood, it was a pleasure running away with you. We were just children acting like a doll, crazy, naive, bold and carefree. We were kids having kids, crazy, naive. It amazes me that we didn't fall apart harder than we did. Now they keep us on speaking terms. We grow and we learn. I have no regrets, only forgets. A big thank you to life for giving us sand. Oh, when the timing's right, there's no wasteland. Oh, we were just children acting like adults, crazy, naive, bold and carefree. Having kids, crazy, naive. It amazes me that we didn't fall apart. Oh,
So I wanted to show you some of the materials that I'm using to stiffen the bodice and create the shape and the boning that I'm using. So I'm using a combination of two kinds here. These are the same, they're just different colors. And what's inside is this really heavy plastic. And I hate plastic, but that's the way we work with these days. That's what we use. That you cannot sew through this one, but it comes in a casing that you can sew through, and you will sew right in this same seam on both sides, because it is 1/4 of an inch and then it is 1/2 inch casing. So it's pretty rigid, and you can also iron it a little bit to straighten it if you'd like. And then this one, I think you can sew through, right? It's a little bit different, also quite stiff, also plastic. And I think it really is a good idea to test it out and use a combination of them, because depending on where on the bodice you place this, their utility and the way they perform would be different, and you might like the combination of both, depending where you need more stiffness or a bit more flexibility. And what I don't have here, and I used it once in one of the dresses I made, it's all sewed in, so I cannot show you. I don't have a sample, but there's a picture here. As you can see on the screen, there's a steel boning that I like. They come in different lengths, or they come in a roll, and you could cut it, and they have little cabs to finish off. But with this boning, I will probably be using a nail file to make sure the edge is smooth and make sure that it is sewed inside and hidden, and it doesn't poke through the seam, does not ruin my garment, and doesn't dig into my ribs. I'm using that. And then I will also use the stay elastic that has like a little silicone. I don't know if you can see it. There is a silicone tape on it, and I will put that most likely like sides of the garment and the back, and when I apply it, I will stretch it a little bit again on the bodice, because that way it just doesn't glide off your skin, and it will when stretched just a little bit, it will make sure that it stays on the body better as well. So these are the things I'm going to use to make sure that that's all stays put on my body. Obviously a invisible zipper, and I love using those. I have different feet for my Bernina machine that I use to make sure that they're sewn in properly. And then what you see here in the background, this is actually silk taffeta. You can hear, right, the sound of it. It's very sturdy and thick. And what I'm going to use, it's beautiful on its own, but I don't think I will use it for a garment itself. I bought this piece in the remnants in my local store. It's called Fabric Place Basement. I go there all the time. Everybody knows me there, and I love that team there that works there. So I buy remnants very often at a good price, and I bought this specifically as a stiffening material for anything I would do. In the couture sewing, that I cannot call myself a couture sewist, but someone who is inspired to learn to apply these couture techniques. And I used that because I knew I would use it somewhere, someday, to as an interlining perhaps. And this is what I'm doing here, because I will be laying out all these bodice, little bodice pieces on it and cutting it out. And this is the underbodice that I will be inserting all the boning into, so that my garment stayed on me. Love After Love by Derek Walcott. The time will come when with elation you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror. And each will smile at the other's welcome and say, "Sit here, eat." You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you ignored for another, who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit.
feast on your life. There comes a moment in life when you finally stop searching for something, when the version of yourself you thought you were supposed to become no longer feels like home. Instead, you turn inwards, towards the person you have always been. It doesn't happen overnight, trust me. It took me a very long time to realize that the person I once was, colorful, creative, bold, talented, and sensitive, had been lost under layers and layers of expectations and the projections of others. Like those long, heavy pleated skirts I kept wearing because I thought the world around me demanded it from me. Peeling those layers and cutting off that excess fabrics feels like meeting an old friend, someone who has been waiting patiently in the next room, watching me, loving me, never leaving. And when I opened that door, I discovered that coming home to myself is not a loud, dramatic event. It's gentle. It is a quiet recognition. It's like saying to yourself, "Hey, I remember you." I hope anyone hearing my story today can pause for a moment and look at themselves the same way. In fact, get up right now, pause the video, go to the mirror and look at yourself with tenderness for how far you have come, with gratitude for the strength you didn't realize you had, and with love for the unique, beautiful way you exist in this world. Because when you truly see yourself, life begins to taste different. You start offering your own heart the care, the attention, the forgiveness you once gave only to others, no matter who they are. You begin to shed the versions of yourself built for approval and uncover the person beneath them, whole, complete, and already enough. So remaking this skirt into a dress is symbolic to me. It used to be long and pleated, reserved, very traditional, beautiful, right? But holding itself back, just as I once did. Transforming it into a strapless mini, well, my version of mini, is not about rejecting its past. It is about seeing its potential and beauty, letting it breathe again and letting it speak in a new voice. I am honoring the fabric and the craft, but also my own evolution. I'm learning to step out of the shapes that no longer fit me, to welcome the parts of me that are bold, feminine, curious, and ready to be seen. This dress is a small reminder that I'm allowed to shine in the way I've quietly longed to all along. I hope this inspires you to do the same.
So for those of you who sew, this is what happens when you get really tired and into the weeds with a project, and something might be a bit more challenging than you had anticipated, and which it happened. So You cheer yourself up by decorating the future outfit or styling the future outfit. So yes, I do have an intention to make a flower. Most likely I'm going to use the fringe because I think it's quite a pretty fringe. I'd have to get creative with it, but I will be adding certain things to it, some contrasting color, beading, whatnot, and we'll see. Also, I thought that this would be pretty cool with pearls, but I also have a little surprise coming in. I like the contrast of something feminine with a bit of a masculine features or accessories, and so there'll be some chains and some medallions, so we'll see. I have an idea for that. But I do have a challenge here. You know, what I didn't realize is the size of the plaid on the fabric. It is much wider than I would have liked, and I should have thought of it before I cut into it, but I didn't think it would be that much of a challenge because I made a skirt and things have aligned. But I had a challenge of deciding of which of the lines to put in the middle, because if you can see, there are two patterns. There is one wide that is very busy going right here, and it makes the look of the dress a bit off center, but if you focus on it, I chose this line here to be the center line on the dress, and it repeats itself on the skirt. But then right next to it, the other line is the one that has the red square in it, and then they repeat. So I chose to put the two of them sort of in the middle with that center line. So I don't mind the look. I think what I will be doing is I will undo this seam under the bust and take some of that in so that the little squares where the crisscross yellow and white lines meet kind of were hidden one underneath the other, and that will lift everything up, and that blue line will disappear and become a little bit more in line with this. But it's okay, this is what we have to work with. And the voice of my favorite teacher, Connie Long, that I mentioned in one of my videos, was loud and clear in my head as I was working with that plaid fabric, saying that, okay, make it a feature. What is it that you don't like? Make it a feature. So I'm learning from it, but I think overall I'm pretty happy. So I did not interface, or I did not add any boning into the fashion fabric itself because it has a little bit of a give, and I wanted to have that give in case I needed to really conform it better to my own shape. The mannequin is close to my shape, but once I put the zipper in, and I will put that on and kind of construct it, assemble it. Some of the lines are still not finished fully, so that just in case I need to have alterations done. But this is my progress. Rather challenging. I thought it might be a little simple project if it were a fabric without a pattern or had flowers where I didn't have to worry about how I cut it, right? So I experimented and I cut all the different shapes and played with the plaid and measured a lot, and so it's challenging. If it were small and more narrow, it would have been a lot easier. But anyway, I'm happy with the result so far. Let me keep working. I wanted to give you a little update on the progress. As you can see, I've got my lining done. This is not silk, this is viscose I had in my stash for decades, probably. I don't have a memory of when I buy sometimes the fabrics, like basic fabrics, right? So essentially it fully repeats the dress, the silhouette of the dress. I am under pressure to finish it. But I'm a perfectionist, as you know from my videos, so I'm trying to do my absolute best to make it look neat. Again, all of this will be covered under the lining, right? Just to give you an idea what it will look like inside when it's all done. Again, this is viscose, not silk. I didn't have silk. I didn't want to buy new fabric. The dress was tried on, and my boys, and by my boys I mean my husband and my stepson, said it looked great. It is a miracle. It fit, and it fits pretty well. I'm happy, and it stays on, so which is another major achievement.
If you've always longed to dress in a way that reflects your true inner self, the part you may have been hiding from others or even from yourself, let this story be a gentle nudge. If you find yourself drawn to bright colors, beautiful silhouettes, and daring dresses, but still reach for the white button-down and the pair of jeans because they feel safe, or if your closet is filled with pieces you've been saving thinking one day I'll wear this, Well, maybe that day is today. Because right now, right this moment, you are your best self. You are the youngest you will ever be from this moment on. You still have dreams to chase and a life to live. And if you so, make that dress you always wanted, even if you wear it just once, because that moment will stay with you forever. And don't listen to voices that don't understand your unique path. It takes courage to choose yourself. It takes love. It takes a strong spirit to love life the way you do. I am on a journey towards living my most authentic self. I choose to share it with anyone who wishes to walk alongside me. These stories come from my life and from my heart. If this one resonated with you, I'd love for you to stay. It's just the beginning. I cannot wait to share my world with you.
So there it is, a finished dress. I can't believe I'm wearing this. I wanted to give you a little review before I style this up. So I have this kind of strange feeling that it is very comfortable, surprisingly, right? One thing I did forget, and I have to do this. I said that I will be putting in some caps for a little bit of shape, and I forgot to put them in when I finished it last night. But let me do it right now. Hold on one sec. Pardon some noise as I'm doing this. I've got my mic clipped on the dress as well. Talk amongst yourselves for a moment. Okay, I think it needs a little bit, because when you're not wearing a bra, things sort of like get out of place, and women of certain age, it's not as it used to be, certain things, so a little help would be good. But like with little tiny cups, this is sort of the ones similar to what you would maybe have in your sports bra. But there is a dress. It is a little close up here. It is comfortable. It is hugging me, but it's not constricting, right? So I already know that when I sit, it will help me sit upright. Because it really does. There is some flexibility in the boning, because I have them in the princess lines in the sides and princess lines in the back. They are plastic, but there is some flexibility, so nothing really constricting. One thing I'm already thinking that, I went a little bit conservative. That's just me, baby steps, right? So, but I thought that I could probably go a little shorter. It's not a matter of comfort for me. I think it's more a matter of the balance. I thought that perhaps a slightly longer skirt would make sense, just the proportions of all of the different parts of the body. But you let me know what you think. But I think the hem might be coming up a little bit, and that's for the future video. But I have some shoes laid out. I got some boots, some sweaters, some accessories that I want to style them up, and I have some ideas as well. I don't have everything that I want to do with this dress just yet, but I think let me get it styled up with what I have for now, and then for later maybe I'll do some more reveals. But there it is, super comfortable. I can't believe it's a strapless dress. Yes.
Hey, he's got me looking quite bad.